Welcome to Spiritual Dialogues with Father Udon de Castro. We are here at Cariana Lay Monastic Community. I'm your host, Brother Lodi, and with us is Sister Tachi. Sister?
Yes, Father, we were speaking of the rock bottom of vices, the rock bottom which is sodomy, and I was asking you to reach that vice. Oh, well, really, you have to have all the rest. Is that true? Okay.
So we are discussing the different degrees of vices
Yes.
through which the devil tempts us. And this discussion on the vices has been described by the fathers of the church, especially desert fathers, and more specifically Saint John Cassian, in which he very clearly described the fact that these vices, you really go down little by little. Nobody gets and becomes very, very evil right away. It's something slowly.
Okay.
You first become a glutton before you become a very evil person.
Okay.
You have to begin always at the beginning. And so in the spiritual life, the whole idea of spirituality is, while you are in the top vice, stop it there.
First, the
Stop
first.
going
Okay.
down.
Okay.
No? And the way to do it is to use the cure of the vice before the vice that you have. Meaning to say, if your vice is, for instance, covetousness.
That means I've already had gluttony and the rest.
Yeah, that means you
I'm already hitting third.
Yeah.
Okay.
So third is covetousness. The cure is the cure for lust. The second.
Last bounce. Okay.
Yeah. As a cure. So if you cure that, you will cure also all those under.
You will never reach that. You will never
reach the bottom.
Okay. I just cured the one before that. Okay.
That's why you will notice that the first vice is gluttony.
Yes.
Then you go down to all the vices.
Okay.
To avoid going down, you solve the first,
Yes.
gluttony.
Yeah, that's easier.
That's why the Catholic Church has what you call fasting.
Yes.
Because when you fast, you cure gluttony, and therefore you don't go down anymore.
Okay.
You see that?
Yes, Padre.
So
It's just started.
how easy.
Yes.
So in other words, to prevent people from reaching sodomy, while they are still up there,
On the first.
gluttony, the first, train them to fast. That's why the Catholic Church have fasting, precisely so that it doesn't go down. So if you ask the question, what happened to Sodom and Gomorrah? It was first gluttony, then you go down, 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 down. It was always eating and drinking. It always goes like that.
It said that.
Yeah,
It
it
said
does
that in the scriptures, right?
Even Noah's time, their sin was eating
Eating
and
and
drinking
drinking.
and marrying. It's all the
All
vices.
that. Okay.
So they were enjoying themselves so much, and that's happening in the United States right now. That's why there is that problem, because people are enjoying so much eating, drinking, not only marrying but committing adultery, and they're just going down, hitting the bottom, which is already sodomy.
Just to clarify, Father, because they might, when you say marrying, you're not talking of the sacrament of marriage.
Yeah,
Because
that's it.
in that you're not talking of that. You're
No,
talking
that's
now
not
of
it, no.
that's not it. Okay, just so it's clear.
That's why there is a very high, precious theology on marriage by St. Augustine. The good of marriage is something very good.
Okay, yes, Father.
But that's not our topic right
That's
now.
not the one.
So the reason why Sodom and Gomorrah reached rock bottom is because they were possessed by the devil. There was no baptism during that time.
Yes.
So most of them were possessed not only by one or seven devils, they were possessed by legions. And the devils possessing their souls were dictating to them just to go down, 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 down to the line of vices until they reach the bottom, which is Sodom and Gomorrah. Now what's funny is the Catholic Church has a solution, which is only fasting.
But we seldom do that, Father.
Well, we keep on cheating, yeah, that's right. And so what happened in the 1100s, the whole Catholic Church, majority of them, and the history of it says that majority of the bishops and the cardinals and the priests were practicing sodomy.
You're talking now not of Sodom and Gomorrah, you're talking now of a later
This is
Later history.
1100.
Okay.
1100.
Okay.
This is modern times. This is New Testament.
Yes, 1100.
This is the time of Saint Peter Damien, who was a Benedictine.
Okay. Yes.
So the Benedictine order had been established and so on like that. And yet it is happening, which means that the Catholic Church that has the solution to this was not using the solution,
Okay.
which is fasting. And really the Catholic Church was on fasting. They were saying that when Martin Luther was starting his revolt, the bishops and the cardinals were having parties with dancing girls on their table.
Really?
I mean, this is not only gluttony.
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, when you eat with plenty of food and drink and dancing girls in your table, that's something more than gluttony.
Yes.
And Saint Francis of Assisi was correcting them, called the bishops and the cardinals prostitutes. He called them in a retreat. I think he gave them, called them prostitutes. So it's not something new. It has been happening in the Catholic Church. And during that time, even the Pope did not know what to do.
You're talking now of the time of Peter Damien.
In the time of Peter Damien,
1100s.
he's a Benedictine monk. No? I'm also a Benedictine monk before.
Yes,
no?
that's fine.
So even the Pope did not know what to do, that he had to call Peter Damien to try to solve the problem. And this is something very important, because the solution is in Saint Peter Damien. And he has a book. Yeah.
What is the solution by Peter Damien?
He wrote it, the book.
Okay. This, okay. Yes.
And
it's
the
going
book
to-
is something about Sodom and Gomorrah, precisely like
Okay,
that. no?
so far.
I think the
Go ahead.
title is Gomorrah or something. I forgot the title.
Okay.
But he solved the problem, because the Pope, the whole Catholic Church at the time, did not know how to solve it. They had to ask him to solve it, and he solved it. And the Pope rewarded him by making him a bishop, and then he became doctor of the church. A doctor of the church. Now, what I would want to clarify is the fact that how did the Pope know that Saint Peter Damien knew the solution?
Yes. He was not in Rome, you mean?
Huh?
Peter Damien was not in Rome at that time?
He was in Rome.
He was in Rome, but he was not visible, not known.
No, he was known
Known,
as
but-
a very good Benedictine
Okay,
monk.
that's okay, Father. Then,
But the Pope could not solve it. But he knew the solution. And he knew that the solution is only known by Peter Damien.
okay.
So he had an inkling what was the solution.
The Pope.
The Pope, yeah. That's why he called Peter Damien. Because he knew Peter Damien knew the solution. He also knew it, but he didn't know how to apply it. Now, I would like to show this because today nobody knows the solution.
Yes, Father.
The Pope doesn't know the solution. Why? Because this has been happening even at the time of Pope Pius XII, the time of my younger days, and they never solved it.
Probably they do not know the real problem.
No, they know the real problem. They knew it very well.
Was it as bad as this time? No.
Again?
It was just bad, but not yet as bad as today.
Well, it's more the idea that our popes know the solution, but they did not know how to apply it, just like the time of Peter Damien.
Okay, yes, Father.
Because if the Pope during the time of Peter Damien knew the solution, he would have applied it.
Definitely, Father.
But he had to call Peter Damien. Because it's a different thing like cooking. you would know how a certain dish is cooked, but you have not actually cooked it.
Yes, Father.
So you will try to call somebody who is an expert of it.
Yes. Okay.
So the Pope, during the time of Peter Damien, knew the solution, but he didn't know exactly how to go about it. So he had to call Peter Damien. And what I'm saying is the synod that is going on right now wants to solve the same problem, but because they do not know the analysis of the problem, they have not analyzed it. Nobody has ever told us what is the analysis of the problem. So I'm sure they do not know the solution. So they cannot even look for a Peter Damien to solve it because they have no idea whatsoever what the solution is, and that is what is expected by many after the synod.
It's a big problem, Father.
Yeah, it's a big problem. That's why there were 100 people
Praying.
yeah, bring
I
the
think we
rosary
need
there.
more. We need more people praying, but
Yeah,
yes,
more really
we
pray.
really need
Very
more
good.
praying.
Yeah.
But yes, but so Father, it's like so don't hold. We must not hold our breath because I don't think it's gonna be solved.
Well, that's why we're
Scary.
discussing it.
Yeah, I know.
Because as a Benedictine, I knew and I know Peter Damien's solution.
Yeah, he put it down in writing, didn't he not?
He put it down in writing. He didn't have to put it down in writing because it was written down centuries ago in the Catholic
Right.
Church.
Okay. So now he had to put it down again.
But
now,
to satisfy your curiosity,
yes,
the solution is the monastic life in its strictest observance. That's the solution. The monastic life in its strictest observance, which Peter Damien was practicing during his time. He was not just an ordinary monk. He was practicing the monastic life in its strictest observance, and the Pope knew it. And
That's
he
why
knew that was the solution.
that's why there was a solution.
What he did is related to the rules of Saint Benedict.
Yeah, it's the rule of Saint Benedict, observed in the strictest observance, which no Benedictine today is observing. That's why they cannot find a Peter Damien. That's why they have no idea whatsoever how to solve the problem. They cannot even analyze the problem. Their analysis is so poor, it's not even psychologically sound. It shows that they're totally ignorant of what really happened to these bishops in the United States.
Because you're saying, Father, maybe you have to repeat that that it is now occurring. You have not said it really in black and white. That
What
the
is
same. That what has
occurring?
happening in Sodom and Gomorrah is happened in Peter Damien's time.
Yeah.
And now you're saying it's happening now.
I didn't say that.
Oh, that's what
Newspapers are saying
newspapers
that.
say that.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay.
And the newspapers are saying that's happening now.
And the Vatican is saying so. That's why there's a synod.
And
Yeah.
and where is it happening, Father? Just for
The whole
clarification.
world. It's happening in the whole world.
In exactly the same way that it was happening in Peter Damien's time and in Sodom and Gomorrah. That's
It
how
is
bad it
happening,
is.
Like in Peter Damien's time, it's happening among the bishops and the cardinals.
Because in Sodom and Gomorrah, it has happened among lay people.
Yeah,
in Peter
because there were
Damien's,
no bishops
there were
at
no
time.
bishops then.
Okay.
And then now in Peter Damien's time, it was happening to the church, the men of the
Cardinals,
church,
yeah,
the men of the
cardinals and
church.
bishops, yeah.
And today, in
Same.
2000,
Exactly the same.
exactly the same as it happened in Peter Damien's time.
And so I'm asking, why don't they just look back at the time of Peter Damien?
Yes, Father. And nobody's looking.
And the solution is really very far because the ones who are going to discuss the problem are themselves committing the same sin.
Wait again. So we'll go back to the synod. You have not said that. And so the synod is now going on with bishops and cardinals discussing,
Who are
who are themselves
inclined towards the same sin. Yeah.
They had to choose people with that incline. Could not choose anybody else. I'm so
Wow.
Father. I mean, it's really like It's, Father, how can it be sold by people who are inclined to do those
That's
things?
true. That's why during the time of Sodom and Gomorrah, you had Lot
Yes.
and
You
Abraham
had
that
someone
tried to.
that, yes.
There is always someone. In other words, God never abandons the
Yes,
world.
yes,
There is
I'm
always
sure He
someone,
does.
except they don't want to look for them.
No.
Did somebody look for Lot when it was raining fire and brimstone there?
No.
Even his wife abandoned him.
Yeah. Yeah. What is the respirator, Damien? Okay.
Father, sorry, we have only about a minute.
Okay, Father.
1 minute to go, Father.
So there you have, it has happened again in the Catholic Church, in the New Testament, and we expect it to happen today. And in God's goodness, He has given us already the solution. It is in the teachings of the Catholic Church, it is the teachings in the writings of the monastic life by Saint Benedict, Saint John. It's all there written in the doctrines of the Catholic Church. How come they don't just go there and read it? Why do they have to hold a synod in Rome just to what? And what they're expecting is they're not going to solve the problem. They're going to cover up. Because they themselves who are meeting in Rome are inclined towards that tendency because they're living exactly the same life, possessed by the same devil, and therefore brought down to the same rock bottom, the sin of sodomy.
Thank you very much, Father. And thank you for watching Spiritual Dialogues with Father Unon de Castro. See you again, and thank you very much, my brother, my sisters.
Hosanna, Hosanna.